Let's talk about some of the characteristics that define a great internal auditor. Now, this is going to be divided into two sections: in theory, or what do the books say about what defines a great internal auditor, and in practice, or based on what I've seen through my years of experience. Be sure to stick till the very end of the video because some of the in-practice traits or characteristics are actually very important. Now, in theory, or based on what the books say, what defines a great internal auditor? So, of course, the auditor has to have integrity. They have to be honest individuals. Number two, demonstrates competence and due professional care. Due professional care means that you abide by certain standards when you conduct your professional work. Number three is objective and free from undue influence. We've talked about this several times in the past. An auditor has to be independent. Their opinions have to be of their own and they cannot be influenced by outside external factors. Number four aligns with the strategies, objectives, and risks of the organization. This is pretty straightforward. At the end of the day, your job as an internal auditor, or the end goal, is to add value and improve an organization's operations. And of course, in order to add value, you have to be aligned with what the organization wants to do. Number five, now this is a pretty long topic, but to simplify it, the auditor has to be positioned in a way within the company where he or she is able to conduct their tasks in a way that is not hinged by, for example, lack of resources or inappropriate positioning within the company. Number six, you have to demonstrate quality and continuous improvement. So this is also pretty straightforward. This is pretty much applicable to any profession out there. You have to demonstrate quality in your work and you have to continuously improve what you do. Number seven, very important, and I will list this in the practice section as well, communicates effectively. Number eight, provides risk-based assurance. So you have to adopt a risk-based mindset. Always think of what can go wrong and try and give confidence to the company that whatever you're doing is preventing things from going wrong. Number nine is insightful, proactive, and future-focused. And number 10, you have to promote organizational improvement. Again, we talked about the fact that you add value and you improve organizational operations. So this ties into that. Now, in practice, based on what I've seen throughout the past several years of working as an internal auditor, what do I believe defines a great internal auditor? So this is less theory and more practical. Number one, an auditor should be able to adapt to different environments and people. You're always going to be on the move. You're always going to be meeting new people. You should adopt an ability to kind of adjust to whatever environment you're put in. Not only adjust, but also be able to excel in these environments. Number two, and in my opinion, probably one of the most important characteristics, has great communication skills. And when we say communication skills, we talk both written and verbal. Not only do you have to speak in a way that is concise and straight to the point, but you also have to be able to convey your points across whenever you're writing, let's say, a report, an email. Number three, can think outside the box. Pretty straightforward. Number four is a problem solver. And you have to be quite proficient at this. You will be faced with many different challenges as an auditor, and you have to be able to navigate through these challenges. And since I mentioned in number one, you have to be able to adapt to different environments and people. Different environments and people bring forth different challenges. So you have to become an individual that is able to navigate through whatever challenges you're faced with. Number five, can apply logic to scenarios where proficiency falls short. As an auditor, you will be put into positions where you feel like you do not have enough experience or knowledge to conduct a certain task. This is where logic takes place. This is where you try and simplify the task at hand to the best of your capabilities. When an issue becomes simplified, you're then able to apply logic and kind of navigate yourself out of this issue. Number six, can think objectively by relying on facts and data. So try to take subjectivity out of the picture whenever you're conducting an audit, or you as an auditor in general. Number seven is assertive. And this is sort of your way of verbal communication and the tone that you put across. You should always be positive, impactful, and confident, but you should not be arrogant. Number eight, has great attention to detail. So this plays a role when you're writing reports, when you're trying to convey your points across in a written manner, or even verbally. Attention to detail makes you look professional. Number nine is relatable. We have to be able to convey a point across that says, we're doing our job just as you. We're not trying to police you or point fingers or identify faults. What we're doing is trying to enhance the operations of the company. So come across as someone who is relatable. Number 10 is understanding and shows emotion. So in other words, be human. You do not have to be independent to a level where you do not speak to anyone, you do not crack a smile or ask about someone's day. This is an important part of the job. You have to be someone who is likable. So don't be afraid to ask about someone's day before you start talking about work. That's absolutely fine. If you feel like these characteristics are interesting to you, and maybe you already meet some of them, maybe most of them, maybe even all of them, then internal auditing may be for you. If that's the case, continue watching videos, expanding your expertise on internal auditing, and apply these characteristics and become a great internal auditor.